Good afternoon. Yours truly, J. John Brooke, speaking live to you today in this fantastic, beautiful world that is surrounded with COVID. It was said to me on my last YouTube that maybe I should look more presentable. So there you go. More presentable I am. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I think first and foremostly, we should consider stigma. Why is it that our society that we live in today is so prominent on pushing down on people that are sick? For whatever reason, mental health. You know, we are in a pandemic of the world with COVID-19 in the year 2020. We're going down in history. You know, and we recognise that mental health before COVID was a problem. But now, for some apparent reason, it's more concentrated, maybe because it's in the public forum, hence why I'm speaking about it. So, what is a stigma? It's a people's belief or lack of belief or understanding or education to know what's actually going on. You know, what we have. Here you go. Let's look at this. Why is recovery not for all? You know, if we drive down the road and we break down, we have certain emergency services that can help us out of that problem. Maybe I'm not gonna announce them people, but we know, certain roadside assistance that with different lights they'll come and rescue you at the side of the road, and that is a form of recovery. And how many of us have got cars? Thousands of us, and we make a little bit of a monthly payment for that. Because we fear of being broken down. And what's the chances of actually breaking down? Very, very, very few and far between, but it does happen. But what about this? What about the mind? You know, we all have problems. We all have problems. That's what makes us, humans and such like. But what brings me to consider why I've got a bit of a passion to speak to the public, and that leads me into, please help me to help you, which is what this YouTube's about today. And the reason that I'm here to help, and I'm asking you to help me so I can help you. And what I'd like you to do is share this, give it out, help those that need help, or even if you don't think they need help. You know, addiction formidably is about secrecy, it's about lying, it's about cheating, it's about manipulating. You know, there's always going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, because tomorrow is the future. Yesterday is the history, and today is the present. You know, there'll never be another day like there is today. You know, it's Friday the 20th, is that correct? Yes, it's the 20th of November 2020. And I speak to you directly from my heart. So the other thing I'd like to talk about is, please keep your ears and your eyes posted and looking for the Bridge to Serenity. This is one of my wonders, and that's why I'm asking for help. Because to go live naturally on this forum, I need 1,000 likes and 1,000 participants. So that's over to you to do. So if you think I'm talking with some substance and you'd like what I'm sharing, and maybe we can have debates, maybe we can have talks, maybe we can have forums. As I say, I have a huge amount of individuals that I can bring to this discussion. So you can ask educated questions and get a decent, respective answer to by clinical or doctors. So Sobertogetherness is, if I break it down, it's about first and foremostly building a community that not just alcoholic addicts can integrate with, it's being sober and living sober without having to use any mood altering chemicals of any description. And what that belief and that understanding is that, you know, the other part of togetherness is the actual bringing together that what's been broken apart. In my experience, isolation is key to the alcoholic and addict. But not just the alcoholic addict. Through our society, how many people do you see completely and utterly alone? We've got an aging population today. We were led to believe that our grandparents were very important to us, but now for some apparent reason in our society, we seem to have put them in a cupboard into nursing homes and such like, and forgotten about them because we're too busy. And I want to bring that togetherness back, a community that is on the same page, that can learn from our elders, because there's a lot of information from them. And once they're gone, they're gone. And that is talking from experience, because I lost my grandmother last year. Or was it the year before? Anyway, doesn't matter. I lost my grandmother, and that was very hard. That was very, very difficult. So why is it we can't help people that's sick? And I'm not talking NHS. I'm not talking private healthcare. I'm talking about, we've all seen them on the streets. That misconception of an alcoholic is someone sat on a bench with a brown paper bag drinking and talking and shouting at people. Surely, we as a society have a duty and a responsibility, or maybe, just maybe, the responsibility should lie at the people that sell the alcohol, the industry that advertises it. Cigarettes today have all these wonderful warnings on. Have you ever seen a warning on a bottle of alcohol? Neither have I. And we have to start being accountable. We're very much a society that says you mustn't do this and you mustn't do that, health and safety, and with cigarettes, for instance, I can only use that as a ballpoint figure because it's happened. They're now kept behind closed doors to stop youngsters being appealed to it and attracted to it. Now, alcohol is freely open to everyone in 3 or 4 lanes of a supermarket without a single warning. However, the detrimental effect that's happening on our society is huge. For the NHS, for doctors, for the police, for our law courts and our societies, our probation officers, and yet again, education. When are we going to wake up? We need to do some stuff. But I can't do this on my own. I have a vision, I have a belief, but I need you to believe in me and stand with me together. Because unite we stand, divide we fall. And over the last 5 or 6 years, all I've seen is divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Let's split the country up. Let's talk about this subject. Let's talk about that subject. And all it does is defrag us and put us in little sections of community, that obviously then fight with each other. I don't want to fight. I want to give love. I want to give that respect back to people that deserve it. We have countless ex-soldiers on our street, homeless. They fought for this country. Some of them went to Iraq. Some of them were in Ireland, doing what they took their pledge, and they were on our street homeless. That's a catastrophe. It is a catastrophe that we are allowing that in our society. We were talking about making some people because of COVID. Marshals for the street. We've already got them. They're already sleeping on the street. But are we putting our arms around them? Are we told by the media, by the television, by radio that these are the lowest of the low? They're dangerous. They're psychotic. Is that how we're meant to be? Stood in judgment. I believe, from the research that I've done, we're all 4 weeks or 6 weeks away from destitute. So you lose your job. You can't pay your rent. You can't pay your mortgage. You lose your home. And then guess what happens? It's a downward spiral. You ask for help, you don't get it. And when you do get it, it's too late. They don't help you when you need it. They help you after you incur more problems. We're a society that makes money out of people that haven't got money. So getting back to the first agenda, stigma. Don't stand in judgment, please. People are dying on our streets through substances, and a lot of them substances are legal. You know, we talk about COVID-19 and how many, people are dying because of COVID. Well, that's because it's in the news. The same amount of people that are dying with COVID. I'm not discrediting COVID and the people that die are, I bless you all. Let me make that sure, but people with addiction are dying equally at the same rate, but it's not making public news. I've got a good friend up in Scotland that's put himself out there because he wants to, as much as people go, oh, that shouldn't be done, he wants to make it a safe place for those that inject heroin to have a safe place to do it. So they're not on the streets. So we don't have the paraphernalia of needles on the streets. They're put in a safe needle box. Because do you know something? If people are going to do that, they're going to do it. Regardless of law, regardless of society, they're going to do it. And it's already been proven that they are. So let's give them the safe place to do it. I'm not an advocate for a lot of things, but I can see where this is going to go. And it's only going to be a good thing if it gets the support. We need to change. We need to start looking at things without being such judgment and start to help. I don't know if I'm in a position to start that. Maybe someone that watches this can contact me. Maybe we can have a discussion about it. But I have a belief and I have a passion. I'm 20 years in recovery. In about 50 odd days, I'll be 21 years clean and sober. I've walked the walk. It's my passion to help others. And some people kill themselves because of that, because of the illness. And people have the audacity to call them selfish. And why is it we're all grief and grief-stricken and upset when that happens? And if you're watching this and you've got a family member that's in addiction, have some clear-cut boundaries, but don't take away the love. Don't take away that human contact that they need, because it's already a lonely, dark road. And love does conquer all if you put it in the right commodities and the right ways. As I said before, people like me, when I was out there doing what I shouldn't have been doing, we're very, very, we've got manipulation and lying down to a fine heart, but are they really lying to you, or are they lying to themselves? Well, I put it to the latter, because that's the nature of the beast. And if you haven't lived with it and you don't understand it, get some education and find out, because it is chronic and sometimes fatal. I've gone on now for 13 minutes, 30 odd seconds, so I think I'll leave it there. Please, please, please share this. Help me to help you. And in doing so, maybe the minority can start talking to the majority and maybe start understanding that the majority doesn't need to be trodden on. The majority needs a voice. We're the ones that have gone through it, but we're never given a platform to speak it because of stigma. Because we're told it's wrong. We shouldn't listen to you because you haven't got any qualifications. Well, let me tell you something. I have qualifications today. I'm a trained interventionist. And let me tell you something, I'm also a sober coach. It has nothing to do with any other fellowships. And let me tell you something as well. I've had the best experience in the world. The experience of a university of life. There isn't a book in the world. Maybe I should write a book. I don't know. There isn't a book in the world or in the libraries that can express the experiences I've experienced. So I beg of you to be fearless and go against the grain, and let's start the change, because stigma's killing people. And who knows, it might happen to you, one of you in the family later on in life. And when you feel it, then you'll understand it, and then maybe you'll get as passionate as I will. Why is it costing thousands of pounds to put people into treatment? Doesn't need to be. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to save lives. I've had enough of watching good people with good intentions and lots of good ideas and aspirations just pushing daisies up in the cemetery. And we're losing a lot of people. So, I'm asking you, find that kind part within your heart. Look at this objectively and drop me a line. Please, I'm here to help. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I'm John J. Brooke. Sobertogetherness is here to help. Thank you.